Do you know that some of the most notorious war criminals in history found refuge in the unlikeliest of places? It's South America. After World War II, thousands of Nazis, including Adolf Eichmann, mastermind of the Holocaust, escaped justice by fleeing to Argentina, Brazil, and beyond. But how did they evade capture? With the help of sympathetic governments and even the Catholic Church, these fugitives started new lives. Yet their dark pasts cast long shadows over history. Join us as we uncover the chilling truth about how South America became the ultimate sanctuary for the remnants of Nazi Germany. How did South America become a haven for Nazi Germany? After the defeat in World War II, many high-ranking leaders of Nazi Germany tried to escape prosecution by the International Court by crossing the border into other countries. Surprisingly, they received assistance from some governments and even the Catholic Church to change their identities and flee to South America. There they started a new life, but some of them were captured, extradited, and had to face the crimes they had committed. For example, the story of Ricardo Clement, who was a production line supervisor at Mercedes-Benz car factory, on May 11, 1960, he experienced an unexpected event. That night, in Buenos Aires, Argentina, it was raining heavily with thunder and lightning. Ricardo Clement got off the bus after work and walked back to his small brick house in the suburban area, meant for the middle class. While walking, he witnessed a strange scene. Near him, under the shadow of a black limousine, there was a driver and two men fixing a car. Suddenly, these people rushed towards him and forced him into the car. Clement screamed in vain, and the car quickly disappeared into the darkness. The kidnapping of Ricardo Clement was not a normal incident. It was related to a carefully calculated complex conspiracy. In fact, Clement was none other than Adolf Eichmann, a famous SS lieutenant colonel of Nazi Germany. Eichmann was the mastermind behind the transportation of thousands of Jews to concentration camps during World War II, and the men in the black limousine were Israeli agents, members of a group hunting down and capturing former high-ranking SS members to bring them to trial before the International Court. After the collapse of the Third Reich, Eichmann was just one of many former members of the Nazi Party trying to hide in South America. A 2012 report from the Daily Mail revealed that according to secret files from Brazil and Chile, around 9,000 officers and collaborators of the Nazi Party escaped Europe to find refuge in South America after the war. Among them, Brazil received between 1,500 and 2,000 war criminals from the Nazi Party, Chile around 500 to 1,000 people, and Argentina became the destination for about 5,000 people. Argentina sets up line to smuggle fascists out of Europe. With hundreds of thousands of German immigrants living in Argentina, the country maintained a close relationship with Germany and remained neutral during World War II. After the war, the then president of Argentina, Juan Perón, secretly instructed his diplomats and intelligence officers to establish escape routes, secret routes through ports in Spain and Italy, to help thousands of former SS officers and members of the Nazi Party escape from Europe. The Red Line's escape routes, a term coined by American intelligence, refer to the system of escape routes for the Nazi Party and other fascist individuals from various countries fleeing Europe at the end of World War II. These escape routes mainly led to safe havens in Central and South America, particularly Argentina, Chile, Paraguay, Colombia, Brazil, Uruguay, Mexico, Guatemala, Ecuador, and Bolivia, as well as the United States and Switzerland. There were two main routes originating from Germany, the first route through Spain to Argentina, and the second route through Rome to Genoa, and then to South America. These two routes developed independently, but eventually collaborated with each other. Perón, like many other leaders in South America, had a tendency to support fascism and was attracted to the ideologies of Benito Mussolini and Adolf Hitler. During his time as a military attaché in Italy at the beginning of World War II, he grasped the core principles of this ideology. The Argentine president also sought to recruit Nazi experts with advanced military, scientific, and technical skills, believing that they could contribute to Argentina's development, similar to how the United States and the Soviet Union sought out scientists from the Third Reich to support the Cold War. In 1946, under the leadership of President Juan Perón, the Argentine government took an important step by passing a message through Cardinal Antonio Caggiano, expressing Argentina's willingness to accept members of the Nazi Party in France who were fleeing. In the spring of that year, as documented by Uki Gonyi in his book The Real Odessa, French war criminals using passports issued by the International Red Cross and stamped with Argentine tourist visas began their journey across the Atlantic to reach Argentina. Vatican priests played a supporting role for former Nazis. During the post-World War II period, many Vatican officials supported Catholic refugees, but unfortunately, this process also inadvertently helped some war criminals from Nazi Germany escape. Of course, some priests, such as Bishop Alois Hudal, an Austrian who was a Hitler sympathizer, intended to support the Nazi regime. Hudal, an Austrian admirer of Hitler, who had assisted war prisoners in Rome, provided fake Vatican documents to Nazi criminals. These documents helped them obtain passports from the International Red Cross. Hudal also helped a Franciscan monk in Genoa, Italy, to obtain an Argentine visa for Adolf Eichmann and helped him obtain a fake passport. As a result, Eichmann was able to board a ship to Buenos Aires in 1950 under the false identity of Ricardo Clement. A group discovered this incident in 2012 and told the Daily Mail that most of the Nazi individuals who went to South America, including around 800 SS members who went to Argentina, used fake Red Cross passports. Some Nazi crimes were never caught. After World War II, many Nazis fled to South America and escaped justice. For example, SS Colonel Walter Rauff, the inventor of the mobile gas chambers that killed more than 100,000 people, died of natural causes in Chile in 1984 without being prosecuted. Eduard Roschmann, also known as the Butcher of Riga, died in Paraguay in 1977. Gustav Wagner, an SS officer known as the Beast, also died in Brazil in 1980 after Brazil's Supreme Federal Court refused to extradite him to Germany, citing improper paperwork. Perhaps the most famous case is that of Dr. Joseph Mengele, nicknamed Dr. Death or Angel of Death, who was famous for his gruesome experiments at the Auschwitz concentration camp. Mengele's experiments were true torture because they were extremely cruel. This SS doctor performed surgeries and even removed organs without anesthesia. He conducted experiments on more than 3,000 pairs of twins sent to Nazi concentration camps, only 200 of whom survived. Mengele fled to Argentina in 1949, then moved to Paraguay in 1959 and to Brazil a year later. Mengele died by drowning off the coast of Brazil in 1979 and was buried under a false name. His true identity was only confirmed after forensic examination of his remains in 1985. In several cases, the United States was complicit in the migration of Nazi criminals to South America, among them Klaus Barbie, head of the Gestapo in Lyon, France. During the war, Barbie contributed to the deaths of thousands of Jews and members of the French resistance. Barbie was recruited by U.S. counterintelligence to assist in the anti-Soviet effort, and he was secretly sent to Bolivia, where he continued his espionage work and helped teach torture and interrogation methods. Barbie, also known as the Butcher of Lyon, was eventually extradited in 1983, convicted of crimes against humanity, and sentenced to life in prison. Barbie became one of the Nazis who fled to South America but could not escape justice. The prosecution is similar to the case of Adolf Eichmann, who was also convicted and executed by an Israeli court in 1962 for crimes against humanity.